As a jaded old otaku with limited free time, I don't often keep up with the current season's hot anime, so my videos usually aren't that topical. I get a lot of comments saying I should talk about trendy anime so I can get more followers, but as one great philosopher put it,
I'm a masochistic YouTuber who hates success.
But there was a lot of buzz about My Dress Up Darling on my Twitter timeline, so I figured I had to check it out, and it did not disappoint. As someone who's designed and built costumes professionally and loves otaku meta humor, this show's themes really resonated with me. While My Dress Up Darling is definitely a cute show and I can see why it's a hit with the community, I can't help but attribute some of its success to its excellent subtitles, especially in the very first episode. Now, in the past, I've broken down anime translations word by word and analyzed what makes them good, but with My Dress Up Darling, I decided to take a different approach and dub some of the scenes. First with the translation and the subtitles, then with a more one-to-one literal translation. Sometimes you just have to see and hear the difference in action to understand and appreciate why one is better than the other. Just a heads up before we begin, I'm going to be putting filters and cutting up the animation a little in these clips. Hopefully that and my dubbing will be transformative enough to convince the powers that be that this video falls under fair use, which it absolutely does, by the way, just covering my bases here. So please don't complain about the animation looking weird. I did that on purpose. I know this is a great titty anime, but we're focusing on language here, not animation. Go watch it for free with ads on Crunchyroll or Funimation if you want to see some titties or, get the full context of those scenes. You can also find the official dubbed version there too. Okay, the premise is set, so let's compare some scenes. Scene 1, a boy and his dolls. The hero of our story is Gojo Wakana, a boy who wants to make Hina dolls when he grows up. Let's learn a little more about him and his plight.
Sorry, Gramps. I still haven't made a single friend, even in high school. How can I anyway? My dream is to be a kashirashi for Hina dolls. Meaning my hobbies are creating Hina dolls and honing my craft, appreciating my work, and talking to said work. And so, I have nothing to talk about with other people. Sorry, Gramps. Even at high school, I can't make friends, but it can't be helped. My dream is becoming a kashirashi of Hina dolls. Therefore, my hobbies are creation and practice of Hina dolls, appreciation, conversation. At this rate, no way will my conversations match with everyone.
So, as you may have noticed, my literal translations of Wakana's dialogue still made sense, more or less. They were, however, a little stilted, since I kept a lot of the Japanese way of wording things intact. And of course, anyone who's in the know will have noticed that I translated shikatanai as it can't be helped. This translation has basically become a meme at this point, even outside of translator circles, because of how it was overused in anime subs in the past. I would like to point out, though, that it's actually a rather natural-sounding phrase in British English.
Even at high school, I can't make friends, but it can't be helped.
Just thought it was worth noting that what sounds strange to one English speaker might not necessarily sound strange to another, and that is something to keep in mind when you're evaluating the quality of someone else's translations. Okay, on to the next scene. Teen Girl Squad! So the first time these translations really stood out to me, in a good way, was this scene with Marin, our heroine, talking with her friends at school. The way they talk in Japanese is so slangy and so teen girlish, and the translator did a really good job capturing that. But let's see how it compares to a literal translation.
But then, this dude totally waited on Marin, even though his hair was done ages ago.
My dude, just go home. Was he cute though?
He was actually pretty hot. He finally came up to us as we were about to leave. I'm sure he was just trying to start up a conversation, but...
Hey, isn't that a thing from some anime? Wow, you're a total nerd. Talk about lame. The only thing that's lame here is you.
When that happened, even though his hair was done, there's this person waiting forever targeting Marin.
Dang, go home.
His face? Unexpectedly ikemen. Then, when we left, he tangled onto us. He was probably trying to make a chance to talk,
Hey, is that a thing from something or another anime? You're a super otaku! No way! You're the one who's no way. Like I care about how hot he was, I just can't deal with guys like him. You just don't go making fun of things people clearly like. I don't care what his face and stuff is like. That kind of man is impossible.
It makes you go, don't patronize the things people like, you know?
So, one of the most common complaints I see in the whole vocalizer discourse online is whenever the subs of an anime use slang, especially current slang. And while I agree that the overuse of whatever slang is currently trendy can bite you in the ass when that slang goes out of style in a few months, without slang, these teen girls sound, well, really inauthentic. Also, believe it or not, Japanese has slang. This sentence alone is comprised entirely of slang words, cho, otaku, and jam. Anyway, Japanese has slang, and these subs did a great job of bringing that across. The only thing that's lame here is you. Scene 3, the meet cute. Every great rom-com has to have a great meet cute. Marin's and Wakana's meet cute was technically when she crashed into his desk in class earlier in the episode, but I feel like this is the scene where they both meet the authentic versions of each other. Check it out.
That's so awesome! You know how to use a sewing machine, Gojo-kun?
Huh?
The sewing machine! How do you know how to use one? We don't have home ec as an elective.
My family runs a Hina doll shop, so I learned how to use one as a kid.
Oh, so that's why. No wonder. Hey, is that a Hina doll? Let me see. Awesome! Gojo-kun, you're a person who can use a sewing machine?
Huh?
Therefore, sewing machine, how can you do it? There's no home ec elective.
My house does a Hina doll's shop. Therefore, I've been taught since long ago.
That type? That's why. Hey, is that a Hina-sama? Show me. Did you make this Hina doll, Gojo-kun?
No, I didn't. My gramps made her. I still only know how to make their clothes.
You can make clothes?
Yes. What's going on? What's happening? Why is she undressing? Wait, why do I hear a rustling sound? What is this sound?
Gojo-kun.
Yes, ma'am!
This Hina-sama, did Gojo-kun make it?
No, that's wrong. This is a thing my gramps made. I still can't do anything except stuff like make clothes.
Clothes? You can make?
Yes. What is this? What is happening? Why suddenly her clothes? What's kasa-kasa? What kind of sound?
Gojo-kun.
Yes!
It's totally not done yet, but, what do you think?
What do you mean? What exactly are you wearing?
Well, I'm, trying to make that outfit, so yeah. At least I'm trying to.
You're joking, right?
I'm in the middle of it, but this, how, I wonder.
What does how mean? What kind of appearance is that?
Well, I made those clothes, kinda. I did.
Is that a joke?
In this scene, it was really important to show the contrast between Marin's and Wakana's personalities, and a literal translation misses some of that. Sure, you can see their differences in personality through the way they're animated and voice acted, but with a literal, neutral-sounding translation, you're missing another layer. And what used to be a meet cute is now a meet neutral. I'm very funny. Scene 4, a fabricated date. You're welcome. Later in episode 3, Wakana agrees to go shopping with Marin to help her get the supplies for her cosplay. There's one standout line in particular that I love. Great translation, would make an excellent meme or animated GIF. Let's see how the literal translation holds up.
I think this one would work better.
Huh? Why? Is there actually a difference?
Slippery Girls Academy is an academy for upper-class girls. So that would mean Shizuku-tan's uniform would probably reflect that. Wait, I wasn't planning on shopping today, so I don't have any cash on me.
Ah, don't you worry about that. Blingy, blingy, bling, baby. Mama went to the bank. Use as much as you'd like.
I think this one is better.
Huh? Why? Is there some kind of difference?
Nuru Nuru Girls Academy is a school for rich girls. Shizuku-tan should wear a uniform of that level, right? That's right. I wasn't planning on shopping today, so I'm empty-handed, but...
Ah, don't worry, don't worry. Kira, 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 kira!
I withdrew and came here.
Please use it as you like.
So yeah, well, oroshite kiteru tte is literally just the verb orosu, which in this case means to withdraw money from a bank, followed by the auxiliary verb kiteru, which means that she did the first verb before coming to the fabric store, then a slangy te ending, which is basically air quotes, and it's sort of like the filler word like in this context. Mama went to the bank is just so much goofier and so much more authentically Marin. And you may notice that both of these sentences essentially mean the same thing. Marin went to the bank and withdrew some money before coming to the fabric store, so don't you worry, Wakana, she has it covered. Mama went to the bank encapsulates this entire sentiment very concisely. It's a great translation. Scene 5. Okay, here's the titties you came for. Not gonna lie, it's a bit vexing when this show's translations are so great and the comments about titty physics get all the upvotes, but that is a big selling point of this show, and the scene when Marin tries on her first cosplay for the first time is so adorable and her character comes through so well in these subs that I wanted to close on this little scene from episode 5. I still can't believe you got this boob bag down perfectly! I had no idea it could be made this perfect! I can't believe it! It's perfect! The skirt is like the perfect length. You totally get it. The little peek at Shizuku-tan's garters from underneath her tulle is adorable, and you even got that down. Gojo-kun, you're a god!
Thank you very much. I'm flattered, but I still have a long ways to go.
I'm actually Shizuku-tan right now. I seriously couldn't be happier. I can't right now. Like, seriously. Wait! What? I can't! This is so perfect that I seriously can't right now! What? For real? I'm getting so excited I'm going to lose it!
Kitagawa-san, calm down!
The boob bag is finished that I think, seriously, things like this exist. Can it be made this perfectly? Literally freakish. Perfect! Also, the skirt is an exactly good length, and it feels like you understand. With Shizuku-tan, the slip of garters from the tulle is seriously cute, but that part is also perfect. Gojo-kun, you're a god!
Thank you. I'm happy to be told that, but, well, personally I'm still...
That I could seriously become Shizuku-tan? I'm too happy! Super bad, calmly bad! Ah, wait! Impossible! Too perfect and impossible, though! Seriously impossible! Wait! Already! I've become frickin' Doki Doki! I'm gonna break! It's so bad. So I had a lot of fun making the literal translations for these scenes. To be honest, I could have gone even more literal with a lot of the translations. I mean, Japanese often omits pronouns for one thing. And the subtitle translations were meant to be subtitles, not dubbed lines, so there were some moments here and there where even the subtitle translations weren't ideal for a dub. But hopefully this gave you an idea of what we translators mean when we say we try to make our translations sound more natural, or sound like the dialogue was originally written in English. It doesn't mean that we change the meaning of what the characters are saying. It means we try to translate the personalities and emotions of the characters so that English speakers can understand them on a more deeper and authentic level. That's all for now. I want to give a special thanks to my patrons, especially Greg, Lay, and Henry Roaming. If you like what I do here and want to ensure that I keep doing it, consider joining my Patreon. And if you want to learn Japanese with me, check out my sister channel, Sarah Moon Japanese. Also, special thanks to my husband for doing these dubs with me, and a special shout out to the person or people who are translating My Dress Up Darling. Your subs are great. Okay, bye! I withdrew and came here.